Hello and welcome to Inside Eco Devo, an economic development podcast helping Missourians prosper. On this episode, we're talking about Missouri One Start, and sitting down with us to help with the discussion is Kristie Davis, the director of Missouri One Start within the Missouri Department of Economic Development. Kristie, welcome and thanks for sitting down with us.
Oh, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So something I like to do with all the guests before we kind of dive into our topic is just get a little bit of background on them. So if you could provide us a little bit of how you came to be the director for Missouri One Start.
Sure. I think it's just a combination of a variety of different skill sets. So I began my professional career as a teacher. So had an opportunity of working with individuals and helping them, get ready for a career. From there, I was a director of a nonprofit, again, just working with people across the state of Missouri, volunteers across the state of Missouri, and then to the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, specifically with the career technical side of the house with DESE, and, worked with school districts and their teachers on how to make curriculum relevant to the workplace. From there, I went over to the Division of Workforce Development and did a variety of different workforce programs. And then eventually to what is now Missouri One Start as the division director. So a variety of different activities that kind of culminated into, ultimately working with individuals to make sure they have the training that they need, and companies ensuring that the workforce is ready for them.
Yeah, it seems like you have a good history of preparing individuals for that. What was something that, what was the criteria, if you will, that kind of led you down that path? What was it about that career path?
I think it actually goes back to growing up. We had a small business of our own that in a small town, and my dad had a vision of, if you build something for a community, you develop a workforce around that, you give individuals things to do. And it was really that community development that seeing how that impacted the lives of individuals kind of drove me down that path of, training and teaching, and then ultimately, working with companies, understanding what their needs are around workforce and helping them come up with a solution. So it actually, I think, goes back to when I was young and working in our family-owned business.
Yeah. So let's talk about Missouri One Start, and we'll just kind of start off pretty basic here. What is Missouri One Start? What do you guys do?
So Missouri One Start is a division within the Department of Economic Development that's solely focused on working with businesses to ensure they have the workforce that they need. So that could come from training individuals that are currently employed by that company and ensuring that they have the skill set to continue to prosper so the company is successful, as well as the personal growth of the individual is successful. And then also, assisting with recruitment efforts to help companies who are expanding to ensure that they have the right workforce that they need. So Missouri One Start really is a program designed to be flexible with the needs of companies to help them train and recruit individuals that they need.
How long has Missouri One Start been around? I recently was at a business site visit, and they were saying that they've been using Missouri One Start since about 2000. So how long has it been around in some form or the other?
So in some form or the other, the program has actually been around since 1987. So for a long time, we've been assisting companies with their training need. But as we know, Governor Parson in 2019, workforce and infrastructure are two main themes that he has had throughout his administration. And in 2019, he actually put forward a division, as I mentioned, that is focused around workforce, and that is Missouri One Start. So with his leadership and the leadership of our department director, we have grown this program from just being a training program to also assisting companies not only train but recruit the individuals that they need. But our core has been around since 1987, so we've assisted a lot of companies.
A long pedigree there.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you're talking about training, recruitment, assistance, and I'm guessing it's probably catered to the business. But what are we saying when we're saying training, recruitment, assistance? What do those programs look like?
Sure. So our programs are administered locally by local education agencies. So either a community college, a career technical college, or State Technical College of Missouri are one of our training partners that administer our program. Those entities can work with companies to customize a program, a training program that meets their specific need. Those entities can also either deliver that training for the company, or the community college, career technical centers, they can assist companies in developing a training plan that maybe a third party could come in and train, or there's flexibility in our program to even the company, if they have the expertise in-house to provide training, our funds can offset those costs. So there's a variety of activities that our training funds can be used towards. Many of our community colleges and career technical centers, they assist companies with such things as process improvement, quality initiatives, team building, leadership, specific technical skills for that specific company, robotics, a wide list, more than I think we have time for, but it's very customized and specific to what the needs of the company is. And I think that's what makes us unique to other programs across the nation is our ability to be flexible in how we actually deliver the training that's needed for companies.
So is there like an eligibility requirement for businesses? Like what's the swath of businesses that can partake in this?
Sure. Typically, we work with companies that are creating new jobs in Missouri or retraining existing employees as a result of a substantial new capital investments. For our program, companies must be offering health insurance to all full-time employees and pay at least 50% of their premium. And training must be offered to full-time permanent employees. And we like that be a competitive wage locally. But we offer to a variety of different industries. We work with ag tech and food solutions, aerospace, bioscience, advanced manufacturing, logistics, distribution, quite a lot of different industries that we work with.
Are there some examples within those industries of recent projects and businesses that you've partnered with that you can share that kind of puts perspective or maybe highlights some big wins?
Sure. We had recently worked with a company that had a hiring event and it had very low turnout. And this company has a large expansion that they're looking to hire around 1,100 individuals. And so through our recruitment efforts and our partnership with other state agencies, we were able to drive over 250 individuals to this hiring event that they were having. And that company actually offered over 170 jobs to individuals from those efforts. And one thing that I have to say with Missouri One Start, the services that we offer, we often partner with our sister agencies such as the Office of Workforce Development, Department of Social Services, even Department of Corrections and others, as well as the local economic developers when we do recruitment efforts and training for companies. So we try to ensure that locally we're able to get the individuals that are needed. And we often say in economic development, and people listening to this podcast might hear that it is a team sport. And the services that we provide, not one state agency can deliver everything. So it's important for us to be able to partner and partner well.
I think listeners will probably find that that's kind of the crux of everything we do. We're not so much the department that's administering said things, we're helping facilitate and push things through. And that's kind of what Missouri One Start's doing with the businesses and their partnerships.
Absolutely. You know, recently we launched what we call our talent strategy initiative. And this is for large companies, our companies looking to have a large expansion within our state or new to our state. We put together a team of experts around the table and looking at all the different opportunities that we have to offer as a state when it comes to the workforce. And we put that together in a plan for the company. So it's not each individual state agency going to that company and offering services. We put that together in a comprehensive plan to a company. So companies are busy doing what they're doing. We can come together and put together a solution alongside the company. So it's a lot easier to administer.
Yeah. And you had just said something in that about what Missouri has to offer. I don't want to ask you to give like a pitch or anything, but like when that term comes up or that thought process comes up, what does Missouri have to offer when companies and whatnot are looking at our neighbors in competing states?
So it's so interesting you asked. So we assisted a company with this talent strategy team, and we brought together all of our sister agency or state agencies that I just mentioned. And we came together and we were very successful in helping this company get the initial number of individuals they needed to start up. When we were working with that company who has locations across the nation, we were working with that company and they told us, wow, this would never happen in another state, where these state agencies would come together to have a solution for a company. And it was something that he was going to bring back to some of the other states and ask if they could do that. But Missouri did that very well. So when it comes to workforce, when it comes to training, we are dedicated in making sure that our companies have the individuals that they need to be successful. And again, it's a team sport. So we don't have the solution for everything, but we can definitely come together and provide everything that we can to help the company.
Kind of sounds like Missouri having Missouri One Start is kind of a leg up for us. It sounds like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like maybe some of the other neighboring states don't have programs like that.
Correct. They might have training programs. They might have programs that offer recruitment. But to our knowledge, there is no other neighboring state that really puts that effort together. And again, a combination of a variety of state agencies. All of our state agencies, when it comes to workforce, or state agencies that work within that realm, have services to offer, and putting that all in a comprehensive package for a company is something that we have not seen across the nation. And it's something that when we talk to companies who have multiple locations in other states, that they are not doing that. Again, they might have, some recruitment assistance, or they might have some training, but really taking that comprehensive approach is something that makes Missouri unique and makes us stand out to other states.
How important, when we're talking about workforce, how important is that to Missouri's economy? Is it a dollar amount that can be put on it?
I don't know if I would quote a dollar amount to it, but I just think if you, again, going back to Governor Parson and, workforce and infrastructure, two of his main themes throughout his administration efforts. And that just shows the effort as a state that we are putting towards workforce. To have a whole division dedicated to workforce solutions for company, I think speaks volumes.
Piggybacking off of that, what kind of challenges are we currently facing that Missouri One Start is helping to address? I'm guessing COVID and employee shortage might be one of those things.
Yeah. COVID made it interesting for many of our companies. And, as we look, I think the last unemployment rate that I saw for Missouri was about 2.5% unemployment, which is great for individuals. It says that we have jobs. But also for companies looking to expand, it makes it challenging. So what we've seen, especially over this past year and a half, a lot of companies investing in upskilling or reskilling their employees as they might use more technology, and those individuals being trained on that technology will help them grow. So instead of maybe taking on new employees, they're upskilling or reskilling the employees that they have and helping their company grow in that way.
I don't want this next question to feel like we're kind of jumping around a little bit. I'm sure we can go back to some things, but is there any kind of like data or statistics or tracking that you guys do to kind of see the impact that you guys have on workforce and businesses? Like X number of businesses needed jobs, Missouri One Start got those jobs in there, got those training. Like, have you guys seen the impact of the work you do?
We have, and I think it speaks volumes. So with one of our programs, our customized training program, again, this is the one that's been around since 1987, that specific tool that we have. We typically, last year, we received 5 times the amount of requests than funds we had available. So it just goes to show you that companies are needing that training, they're wanting that training, and they're, seeking ways of ensuring that they have the workforce that they need. So we often receive a lot more requests for training funds than we have funds available for. And this next year, as we're looking to the current fiscal year, we're currently in the process of reviewing applications for companies, and we're looking to approve over 200 companies for training projects. And again, we anticipate to fully expend all the funds that we currently were appropriated this year.
When a company comes to you guys and says, hey, we need help with XYZ, what does that process for that company look like?
So we take time to get to know exactly what the need is of that company, and then we will work with our local education agency. So again, the Community College, Career Technical Center, our State Technical College of Missouri, wherever that company is located, there's a designated training partner that we connect them with. That partner will be with that company throughout the whole process. So they will assist the company in determining what their needs are and what that looks like, helping them complete an application, helping them at the point, if they are awarded, getting the reimbursement for the training that is done, and just assisting them through that whole process, as well as providing training if that's what's needed. So we have a dedicated entity that is working with that company the whole way. So regardless who delivers the training, if it's that training partner or not, they will still be there to work with that company to ensure that they're using those funds and they're being reimbursed for those activities.
Okay. Any kind of big announcements that have happened recently with Missouri One Start? I mean, we can cut this out if I'm not supposed to say this, but I know recently you guys rang the bell on AFG. That was kind of a big thing. I think 1,300 jobs for that. Obviously that's a big win, but any kind of big announcements and wins for you guys lately?
Yeah, AFG was, it's a huge win. We're really looking forward to that opportunity. Over 1,300 jobs that we are, again, going to be reaching out to our partners and leveraging what we have to ensure that they get the workforce that they need and the skills that they need. I would say, additionally, this past year through the legislative process, we added recruitment into our statute. So not only just training as mentioned, but also recruitment assistance. And as we look to this next year and years to come, assisting companies with that recruitment assistance and what that looks like is something that I'm excited to see expanded. But really just, I think for Missouri One Start, for our program, we really try to understand where we are as a state, where our economy's at, where the need is at, and we try to provide that assistance to companies as they need it. So right now, it might not be training new people necessarily for some of our companies, but upskilling existing. That might change in a couple of years where we have a lot of individuals looking for jobs and we will help in connecting them. So we're very flexible in how our program operates, but this adding recruitment assistance as part of our core for Missouri One Start, I think it's pretty exciting, and I'm excited to see what that looks like in the future.
And just to give a little context to the listeners, when I mentioned ringing a bell, we have a bell in the suite here.
Love the bell.
Yeah, anytime a big announcement or project goes through, it's like a little ding, 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 ring a bell, kind of like almost like Wall Street, I guess, kind of thing. It's a little fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and it just kind of builds, for our whole department, just, the excitement around that effort. Yeah.
So to kind of piggyback off of what you were just saying before we kind of, veered off on Bell there, it sounds kind of like Missouri One Start is flexible within itself to kind of add new parameters to what you guys offer, right?
So, obviously within, context, right? So we operate within our statute and, what's required for reporting and different things like that. But we are flexible in how our training is delivered. Again, we allow the company to be in the front seat of driving that ship on, if it's them being able to have the expertise in-house to provide the training, or a third party, or using one of our network partners. So we're very flexible in that regard, and we really try to find a solution for companies. And so we work through our programs, our different programs, and what we offer to really try to find that solution that is needed.
How do you see Missouri One Start evolving as we progress into the future? Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball, but just given what your background, and kind of seeing trends maybe, how do you see it evolving to help Missourians and businesses even more?
Sure. So, a part of Missouri One Start is we, are part of kind of that incentive sometimes for businesses to relocate or attract to the state of Missouri. Recently, we were ranked 9th in the nation for customized training. So that's pretty exciting. I think if you go back even a couple years, no one knew who we were. So we spent the last couple of years of really diving in and defining who we are as for our state and how we can assist companies. And, that again has helped companies realize all the benefits that Missouri has to offer, especially when it comes to workforce. Oftentimes when a company is looking to the state, workforce is one of the key elements that they look at to see if there is an available workforce, or what is available to them if they were to relocate here. Quality of life is another aspect that they look at. But as far as the workforce and training, we offer a great opportunity within our state to be able to be a piece of that for companies to attract here.
In Missouri, I'm trying to equate this question similar to what I've asked in previous episodes. Missouri is quite diverse. We have diverse regions, we have diverse land, and all of these things. When it comes to workforce, is our workforce diverse in the same manner? And how does that help or hinder or whatnot when businesses need to upscale their workforce?
Yeah, I would, this is just me, but I think, yes, I think our workforce is diverse in that way. And part of, one of the things with Missouri One Start and our training network that we have and the individuals that we work with, it's all around that local effort. We can't do everything from, Jefferson City from the state and know exactly what is needed. Having, our division of regional engagement, being out there and understanding, that workforce in a specific area and what the needs are helps us as we help companies. So again, that team effort, that team sport of understanding the need for a certain region and then being able to address that and using our regional engagement team, using our local education partner, our community colleges provide training. They're designed to provide training within that community and having the expertise that the companies around them need and that workforce needs in that community. So I think we have a great advantage there of understanding what that diversity might look like in an area, what the needs of the companies are in that particular area, and then being able to match that with the training need that's there.
Within the department as a whole, we have a mission of helping Missourians prosper, a mission, a motto, what have you. So you and your team, through the work you do in Missouri One Start, how does that push that further?
So I would say, definitely with Missouri One Start, we are ensuring that Missourians prosper, not only in working with companies to ensure they have what they need, but also with individuals in their personal growth, career growth, that they have the skill set that they need. We heard, over the last year, the great resignation or people transitioning from one job to another. That's great. Right. So if someone has a skill set that they need and help them professionally grow and being able to get the training that they need to take it to another career, or if they're an individual who are transitioning out of school and giving them this training to go with a company or a company within our state and for them to professionally grow as well as the company to grow. I mean, that right there is helping Missourians prosper, both not only for the company, but also for the individual. And that's what I love about what I do.
Well, I kind of, at this point, just want to open it up to you. If there's anything regarding Missouri One Start, workforce, what have you, that we hadn't covered that you think listeners should know about.
I think we're in a very interesting time when it comes to workforce, having a very low unemployment rate, having companies that are still needing a workforce. We talked about the large win with AFG and the workers that they need, but we have a lot of companies around the state that need employees. And, working with the agencies that we have within our state to understand where we're at with unemployment, how to reach individuals, I think we will do all that we can to get those individuals into jobs, but also to ensure that individuals who are currently employed, that they can continue to get the skill set that they need. But, it is an interesting time, and our economy is a living and breathing thing. It's always changing. Right now, there's a very low unemployment rate. In a couple years, who knows? And maybe that might be a very high unemployment rate. And we're here to adjust with those times, and we're excited about that. We have great leadership within our department and great teams across great divisions. So I'm just excited to see where we go next.
And I'll have one last question for you here. If anybody listening wants to find out more about Missouri One Start, where can they go to find information?
They can definitely go to our website at www.missouriOneStart.com.
Perfect. Kristie, thank you so much for sitting down and taking the time and going through all the information about Missouri One Start.
Eric, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this Missouri One Start episode of Inside EcoDevo. If you want to find out more about what's happening in the Missouri Department of Economic Development, including current programs and upcoming opportunities, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. You can also visit our website, ded.mo.gov, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And if there's an economic development topic you're interested in hearing more about, then let us know by emailing your questions or comments to ded.communications@ded.mo.gov.